What up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of We Got Next. Got to get the energy up and give it a second here. Let some people come on in and see what's up. Don Play, my guy, Cincinnati. Bro, I put my picks out the night before. Yeah, I'm on VCU first half and full game. I stay up late and I wait for the first half lines to come out around 1:30, 2 o'clock on FanDuel, and then I jet up to Philly Live, throw the plays in, and that way I beat the line movement. So I put them out when I put them in. So it's really the best way. So you don't get the stale, you get the best of the line. So what's up, man, Stoney, my guy? What's good, bro? We are going to kick it here and break down what I have on my cards today. So, give me a sec here. While I pull everything up, my Wi-Fi on my phone got turned off because I was outside. All right. So first off, I took 2 L's on. I'm starting the day off 0-2, which I'm like, oh no. But nothing but getting better on this at this point, the way I look at it. Yesterday, crazy, started out 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, and 4-0, and then shit just started going downhill. Ended up 9-10 on the day, minus 2.2 units. So I gave back. I had was up 1050 on Monday, gave 250 back. So we're still up on the week. And going into today, like I said, took 2 L's, ran out and bet Arkansas Pine Bluff first half, minus 11.5. Kind of pissed off at this one because they didn't score the last 2 minutes. They missed a free throw at 2:45, and then that was the end of their scoring until like 2 seconds. They scored a basket, cut the lead to 12, and I had 11.5. If I could have gotten that line when I put all the other lines plays in, it probably would have been 12.5, and I would have covered by the hook in the first half. But that line didn't come out until after I got home from the casino. So, yeah, I'm kind of pissed off. And then Arkansas Pine Bluff just shit the bed the last 4 minutes of the game. Frustrating because they were covering the whole second half. But all right, so let's get into this here. First game we're going to talk about is Arkansas and San Diego State. I don't have a play on that. If you're in here, Don Play, I don't have a play on Cincinnati, bro. First look, yeah, I like Cincinnati. But here's the problem with that game. Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati are very close together. You're probably going to get a mixed crowd. Might not be that much of a advantage for the crowd. Might not be that much of an advantage for Cincinnati. You're going to have a Northern Kentucky team coming in that is going to look at this game as, they're going to give it their all, where Cincinnati might be overlooking a little bit, getting ready for some holiday tournaments. I don't know. It's just not something I want to get involved in. I know my guy Cabby, he likes that, but actually I don't. I didn't talk to him. I haven't talked to him anyway today, but it just seems like a play that he would be on. So, I'll talk to him after this, before he goes on with Pub Hub and check some shit out. But I haven't really talked to Cab too much. We talked about him coming on the show here. So eventually we'll get him on here, but he's been kind of busy. He's got other shit going on, and I'm not trying to pull him away, man. He puts a lot of time in. And handicapping these games is a lot of time as well. So, I'm not trying to pull somebody, away from their family or anything to come on. So anyway, moving on. Matt Stoney, those bluffers. Never going to Arkansas. Why not, Matt Stoney? I got family in Arkansas, bro. Yes, sir. Wham, my guy Wham. Don't forget to check out Wham Talk today, y'all. That's my man. my brother. You feeling good today? You know what? I was feeling good yesterday, and just watching these games, it kind of like took the wind out of my sail, man. You know, I can only cap them and put out what I'm liking and what I'm seeing. You know, I do like a few plays. You know, not as many as yesterday. I had like 22 plays yesterday total. Like, you know, besides what I put on Twitter. Cash those, so I was happy. The ones that I didn't put on Twitter, so it kind of like canceled everything out. So I ended up I didn't make any money yesterday. You know, I didn't lose any money either. But anyway, okay. So on this Arkansas South Dakota State's been one of those teams that they're a good team. They're a really good team at home. They're going on the road here after a late game last night. They're going to play a game in Arkansas, so they're getting on a flight, playing in Arkansas, and you know Arkansas is a good team. You know, they're number 9 in the country. The line that I had gotten last night was I took them first half -7.5, and I think it's only 8 now. I love that. You know what I mean? You're gonna get. You're gonna. I got this. I got them up by like 15 at the half. To be honest with you, so that's probably one of my favorite plays tonight. Just to let you all know, I really like it. I think that cash is for us, and I think we walk away happy with that. Now we'll get to the 6 o'clock game where it's Michigan and Pitt. And the line has moved against me on this one. I took Michigan first half -5. And I took the under 40 and 140 and a half. That line opened up at I think 141 or 142. I got it around 2:30 in the morning at 140 and a half. And I'm still good with it. I have this game being in the mid 130s. You know, Arkansas Pitt's going to play some defense, and I think that's what the sharps are seeing in this is that they're going to frustrate the hell out of Michigan and cover the spread. I don't think they will, though. I don't think that Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas. I don't think the Pitt is talented enough to. Yes, they can D. They can D up, but so can Michigan. I think this is a defensive battle to be honest with you, and I think that's part of what the books are seeing that. You know, if it's a defensive battle, how is Michigan going to cover a 10-point spread? You know, so that line, I don't have what it opened up at because I just bet the first half. But let me take a look and see where it's at right now. Right now, we're looking at 8.5. And what's up? There he is, Dabby Cab speaking. He shall arrive. Cabby, I was wondering if you were on the Cincinnati play, my man. I'm kind of wondering what you're on there. All right. So anyway, in this game, I see a defensive battle. I honestly think it's going to be high 120s, low to mid 130s in this game. And sorry, I don't have the graphics up again, man. I was kind of lazy because I have a heater guy here and blah, 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 blah. You guys don't care about that. So, with this Michigan team, Michigan's going to D up as well, but I do expect them to win this game. I think they win this game pretty handily, to be honest with you. And, where I'm at with this, I'm thinking it's going to be like 70, 58, 70, 60, something around there. Michigan might score a little bit less. Pitt might score a couple baskets more. You know what I mean? So that's why I went with the first half. I think first half we get that fight. Well, I think it's 4.5 now. I got it at 5 last night, so it went against me. But I'm cool. I'm cool when the market moves against me, man. It honestly doesn't affect me. I actually like it when the market moves against me, especially when it moves against me in a total. I really like it at that point. But let me just double check here where we're at on this game as it stands right now. Yeah, 8.5, 139.5. Um, I'm on the under at 140.5, and I'm on the Michigan Wolverines first half at 5, and it's 4.5 now. So I think you're still getting a good number at that. Regardless of what that first half number is just based on the final score. I mean, we're not worried about the final spread. We're not worried about the final spread because I'm only in on the first half. So not worried about what happens at the end of the game, other than both these teams scoring 70 points. That's going to bother me because I have a couple units on the under. To be honest with you, I really think this is a low scoring game. Both these teams in their previous matchups, Michigan has let me see, they played a high scoring game with Eastern Michigan, but I think that was just more or less two Michigan in-state teams running the ball back and forth. But the Purdue Fort Wayne, this is a team that Michigan should have blew the fuck out. They did. They won by 19, but you really saw the Michigan defense in this, and the pace was slower, and I think that's the same type of pace that we get tonight. And as far as Pitt goes, Pitt has been, they just ended up taking a big L to West Virginia, and I hate to steal a term from other schools, but it's basically a backyard brawl. The Pitt and West Virginia, they're Morgantown and Pittsburgh are like right there. Literally like one exit away on the friggin' on the highway, on the interstate. So but West Virginia was just too much for them to handle, which I had figured, and I had the under in that game, and that covered pretty easily. So I expect that same type of game today. I don't expect Michigan to score as much as 81, but I do expect them in the 70s. And like I said, I don't see Pittsburgh scoring more than 60, a couple buckets here and there. So that's where I'm at on that game. Next game up that I have on the card is the Delaware State game. Delaware State, I didn't put this on my early card. When I'm capping these games late at night, man, some of these games just fly away from me and I don't even see them, and it's crazy. Or the line's not out yet. Maybe that could be the reason too. But I didn't put the Delaware State Villanova game until probably a couple hours before game time yet, 2 days ago. That was probably the easiest game in the world. 36 points. I mean, I took that full game and first half. I think I got 36 full game. I think I gotten like 24, 23 and a half. I can't remember exactly, but that was a no-brainer to me. I mean, we talked about this the last couple shows about Villanova, how they're a fade until Justin Moore and Caleb Whitmore get back, or get on the floor. They just really need to hold on, until these two get back on the floor. Once these two get back on the floor, bet the fucking piss out of them, because you're going to get great value on them. But until then, you got to fade Nova. And I know I said that a couple days ago on a show, and I ended up taking Nova first half. That was friggin' retarded on my part. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But Temple showed me, didn't they? So, all right. So Delaware State, back to this Delaware State game. Delaware State is playing Columbia, Ivy League school. They're 0-3. I don't know why they're laying so many points, to be honest with you. I think Delaware State can win this game outright. I might moneyline this game before it's all said and done with. Besides taking the first half, the line has come down. Just trying to find out. It came down. It was at 9 when I think I took it. It's at 7.5 now. The first half is now at 4.5, and I got the first half at Delaware State plus 5.5. So yeah, it was probably like 9 last night, 9.5 or something around there. I have 2 units on this. I really do. This Delaware State team, they're out of the MEAC. They're not the best team in the world, but they're not slouches either. They can ball. They're not playing in Auburn or somebody here. They're playing Columbia. And I know Columbia Columbia's been playing. They lost to Sacred Heart by 3 points. Sacred Heart, we're gonna see that. I didn't even want anything to do with the Sacred Heart game. They tip off at 6 o'clock too. I didn't want any, or 4 o'clock. They might be tipping off now. So I didn't want anything to do with that game. But anyway, so yeah, they got torn up by Rutgers by like 40 points. They lost to Massachusetts Low by what was it, like 27, something like that, and they lost to Sacred Heart by 3. So I really don't see Columbia competing in this game. People look at uh, Delaware State and MEAC bottom feeders. But this is a team that has good players, man. They've got good depth. They've they're I guess they're led by a forward Brandon Stone. He's averaging like 23 points a game. He's 6'11". He's not small. They don't have a small lineup. So I think their size gets the advantage over Columbia, if nothing else. And then behind Stone, they have Kyrie Staten. He's another guy. He's averaging 14 points a game. He's a 6'1" guard, and he's good. He's a good player. And I kind of wish this game was on TV, to be honest with you, because I'd like to watch it. So anyway, that's my look on this. My look on this is I took Delaware State at the 5.5 on the first half. I'm gonna money line them. I'm gonna money line them for a unit, and see. I honestly think they win this game. I'm getting plus 280 on it now, so why the fuck not? And I like the first half. I think they come out and they really set the tone. So Columbia is probably going to try and slow them up, but Columbia's not going to be able to. So that's where I stand on that game. Don Play, why do you ask me questions that I'm answering while I'm asking? While you're asking? I love you, bro. But come on, man. Patience, Danielson. So let me see here. I want to see if Dabby answered. Okay, you did take. Cab. I was just talking about that, man. I don't know about that, man. I do like Cincinnati first half -3, but there's something about this Northern Kentucky team being like so close. They're basically back, another backyard teams, man. Yes, Northern Kentucky isn't in the same class, but Northern Kentucky kind of underachieved last year, bro. So I don't want to touch it, man. I don't want to touch it because Northern Kentucky has everything in the world to play for. Cincinnati really doesn't in this situation. So I think the energy comes with Northern Kentucky. But yeah, if I were going to bet it, I would take Cincinnati first half. So I agree with you on that. It's just something that I don't want to get involved in, and I may kick myself for that, but it is what it is. And I respect you as a capper, just like you respect me. So, I'm not disagreeing with you. So don't take it like that, please. All right. So anyway, let's get back here. Let's go to the next game that I am on. Houston first half. Now, this gave me a little bit of pause to take this at such a high line. The books are catching up here. They're playing a Texas Southern team. That's another thing that kind of bothered me about this. You're playing a team that's in state, and they're hyped up to play the big dog. As long as Houston's shots are on, there's no way I'm laying 31 and a half. All right. So last night when I took the line, it was at 16 and a half. And, it is a number that they can cover. I kind of think it's going to be closer than when I first looked at it. I was thinking 16 and a half. Okay. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it as much, but it's one of those plays that I'm going to take until it doesn't hit. Houston first half. I have to. Getting 16 and a half. I think they cover that by 9. I think they score like 19. I think they're ahead by at least 19. at the end of the first half in this situation. So I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know that much about Texas Southern. Um, I did as much homework as I could on them, and it's just given the numbers that were shown to me or that I had access to. That's the way that I look at this game. And can Houston cover this 31.5? Of course they can. They're the number 3 team in the country. They're playing a 1-3 squad in Texas Southern. The pace is going to be there on um Texas Southern Texas Southern is 102nd in the country in pace, but look at who they're playing. Houston's going to slow that up. They're not going to play at that pace. So the total's at 132. I think that total's spot on, in all honesty. So that's not something I was going to look at. I was kind of thinking under on this game when I looked at it too. But defensively, Texas Southern is ranked 278th in the country with a 105.2 defensive rating, where Houston is 69.1 rating and they're ranked 7th in the country. So Houston should be able to shut these guys down, man. I don't see this team scoring more than 15, 16 points in the first half. Now it's just a matter of, is Houston going to be able to score 36? That's the question. So are they going to slow that pace down? That's the only question I have in this game. So, but it's worth a unit to me to find out. So that's what I'm doing. And we'll move on to the next game. Next game, I have Northeastern first half minus a half. Let me pull that game up here real quick. Boop, boop, boop. And let you know where I'm at on this one. Northeastern. Northeastern is another team out of the CAA. They stepped down from the American. No. They were an American. Now they're in the CAA. I do like CAA teams. I was looking at this William and Mary American University game. That one, I so wanted to take American University. They've been covering for me first half since last year, and they have twice this year for me. But I don't want to bet against the Colonial team, man. And William and Mary's a Colonial team, so I kind of just want to leave that one and just watch how that goes. So here we are with Northeastern playing Harvard. Both these schools up in New England. Northeastern's 0-2. Harvard's 2-1. Harvard has played. They played Louisiana and the Raging Cajuns and lost the other day and got beat by 14, which was I knew that was going to happen. Morehouse, they beat 68-63. And the last CAA team they played was Elon. Elon is a bottom feeder in the CAA, and they got their ass handed to them by Elon, 92-77. So that's where I'm looking at this, man. I'm looking at this, and I don't see them hanging with Northeastern. This is another game that I put 2 units on, and Northeastern comes out and starts handing it to them straight up. Harvard might hang for the first half, but Northeastern should cover the first half. In the second half, they should blow them away. This is another game I might put a full unit on the full game. It's at 2. Wow, did this line flip? This line flipped. Shit, I didn't notice that because I gave up a half. So I would take the plus point, the plus half point or point and a half they're going to give you here if you want to play it, because I really think Northeastern whoops this team up. Now, Northeastern, I just don't see it, man. I don't see Harvard beating these guys. Harvard. Nah, I don't see it, man. I didn't even know this line flipped. That's public money coming in on that. That's for damn sure. I don't see how sharps are betting that one, other than they're just undervaluing this Northeastern team, which they very well could be. So the first half spreads plus a half, and you're getting a minus 105 at FanDuel. So I'd take that, or take the plus 102. That's where I stand. I mean, I doubt very seriously this is going to be tied up at the half. See what you guys are saying. Delaware State plus points. I'm on Gonzaga plus for 1.5. Need to. I don't want nothing to do with that Gonzaga game, man. In all honesty, man. Let me scroll down and see where that's at, because I did look at that game real quick last night, and yeah, Texas and Gonzaga. I just not. I mean, they have to come out and they have to show, like, that Michigan State team, man. When they play in these neutral courts, tournaments, and games like that, like on the Good Ship Lollipop last weekend. They're a better team than they are, playing in somebody else's gym. Let's put it that way. So I just don't see. I think Gonzaga might have lost too much with Chet Holmgren leaving after his freshman year. I really do. And until I see them, I would have to take Gonzaga first half. If I'm going to play that game, I would only play it first half. And, you can get that at minus 1.5. And the game's at 2.5. So even the books are saying, yeah, they know everybody's going to bet Gonzaga first half. So anyway, all right, let's get back on to my card. And my next game, I have VCU at Houston. I mean, at Arizona State. And this is an Arizona State team that I just don't think. Give me a second. Let me pull my notes up on this one, because this was a game that I jumped on as soon as the first half line came out. And I got it at -1. That line is definitely going up a lot. A big jump, to be honest with you, and it kind of makes me feel good that I got in early there. I'm trying to find the game. I'm sorry. It's at 4.5 now. The first half is at 2.5. I still like it at the first half at 2.5. You're even getting plus 100. Plus 100 on at FanDuel for the 2.5. I honestly do think that they come into Arizona State. Let me see. Is that game on a neutral court, or give me a second here? See, I should know this shit, man. I should know this shit, but I didn't factor it into my capping last night. When I cap these games, I'm half asleep, but it works for me, so I stay with it. So, all right. So VCU, Arizona State. All right. Yeah, this game's in Brooklyn. All right. So this game's in Brooklyn. That's right. It's the second game in Brooklyn, because the first game is Michigan. I forgot about that. So yeah. So even more, I like VCU even more. They're not changing time zones. They're just coming up the coast a little bit. And as far as like pace, these teams are pretty even. They're 120. VCU's 120th in pace, and at 72.3, and Arizona State's 124th in pace. VCU has played, Manhattan. They haven't played any tough competition, really. Morgan State. They beat Morgan State by 14. They beat Manhattan by close to 20. I think it was 17 or so. This is going to be their first test, and I think they step up to it, to be honest with you. But more so, if this game, I'd be more apt to slide against, especially after this line movement, to go against VCU if this game was in there, if they were switching time zones. But being this game's in Brooklyn, I like Arizona State. And speaking of the games that Arizona State played, they played that Texas Southern team that we were just talking about in Houston, 60, and they lost 67-66. So, and Northern Arizona, they won 84-68, and Tarleton State, they won by 3, 62-59. I'm just going back to look at this Texas Southern game, because I didn't Yeah. All right. So that's where I stand on the game. I VCU I think should go in and take care of business in the Barclays Center today. I don't see. I can honestly see this game going under. I think that defensively, both teams. Uh, well, not both teams, but they're both pretty good defensive teams. Arizona State is 22nd on a defensive rating of 676, and VCU. I'm sorry, VCU is 22nd with a defensive rating of 76, and Arizona State's 87th with a defensive rating of 86. Now, when I see teams like that close in defensive rating and that close in pace, I really take a look at the true shooting percentage, because that's where the game's going to play out. And you have VCU has a not a significant, but they have a big edge, not a big edge, but they have an edge in there. They're shooting 55, almost 56% true shooting percentage, where Arizona State's 49.9. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you're not going to see that many possessions in this game. If both teams being defensive teams and are going to control the pace, you're not going to get as many possessions. So, um, I would kind of that number's right around there though at 133, because it would think it was like 135 last night when I was looking at it. So I didn't go on the total, but um there was a couple things that tipped me over on this VCU side, and one of them was the true shooting percentage, and the other was the 3-point field goals, where they're shooting 7.5%, or 7.5, averaging 7.5 per game. VCU is, and um, uh, Arizona State's averaging 6.7. So yeah, that's kind of close, but that brings us back to the true shooting percentage. And with having that edge, VCU gets my money on this one. First half, what did we say that's at now? 2.5. I still like it. So there's my play. And we'll go on to my last play, which is St. Mary's. And let me pull that game up. St. Mary's, St. Mary's, St. Mary's, St. Mary's. Where are you at? They're on the West Coast. St. Mary's. Okay, St. Mary's is playing a Southern team that's 0-2 in the SWAC. This game is being played in California at St. Mary's. So, you have a Southern team that's crossing the country that isn't really that good of a team. I mean, they got spanked up by Arizona. They probably been there already, because they played UNLV in Arizona. I doubt they flew home. I'm sure they just making a little vacation out of this. So they lost to UNLV by 10 on Monday, 2 Mondays ago, and that's odd. I'm really confused. They might have went home, because that's a long time. There's for 3 games, 4 games, 4 games out in California, because they play again. They play again on Friday in Berkeley. So I'm guessing they did stay out there. So these kids are out west you know for 11 days. I mean, come on, you're a kid from Southern University. You're going on this trip, man. Hey, this is vacation, bro. They're partying it up, I would think. I don't think they're there for business, to be honest with you. And we're talking to St. Mary's team who's 3-0. They're they want they see they think that they can compete with Gonzaga this year. So they want to come into conference play with that undefeated record and show Gonzaga you're not the only big dog in this conference. So with the St. Mary's team, they took care of business with Oral Roberts the first game. They went to Oral Roberts, beat them 78-70. Then Vermont came to them just last Thursday, and they took care of Vermont 79-53. And this is a decent Vermont team. We saw them play it tough with with USC last night, um, and actually just lost by 2 points. In a low scoring game, 59-57. So that was this Vermont team isn't a shitty team. So, we look at that game, and then they played North Texas, and they beat North Texas 63-33. North Texas isn't a bad team. I mean, they're not a great team. They're probably a mediocre team. The Southern team's probably is definitely not as good as North Texas in my mind. So I think laying the let me see where that line's at now, because I got 11.5 last night, and if anybody's smart, this game that's had to have gone up, but it doesn't look like it did. 10.5. It actually went down a half point or a point, so I like it even more at 10.5. I don't know what people are seeing that is bringing this down, but yeah, I 10.5 on the first half. It's definitely a play that I would recommend. Tease, your 2-star plays was Delaware State first half, and no, their asterisk, Don, and their one asterisk is a 2-unit play for me. 2 asterisks is 4 units. So yeah, I would put an asterisk on Delaware State and the Michigan State under. I mean the Michigan under, and yeah, Delaware State. I'm definitely gonna put another unit on them. That's for sure. Actually, I'm gonna play them money line. Is what I'm gonna do with that. And Northeastern, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go money line full game on that, man. I don't have more than 1 unit on that first half, and that's all that I bet on that. To be honest with you, I gave you my feelings on it, but I'm only betting the first half. I only bet the first half, and I bet it at -0.5, even though it's plus now. I do think they take care of Harvard, but maybe I'm missing something like that, man. I've been known to miss stuff. Believe me, I missed stuff in 10 games last night. So, and I got a push. So I got my first push of the year. So anyway, that's where I stand on these. I'll go over these again for you guys. And I do post these when I get them in. Usually I wait till the first half lines come out, and they've been coming out pretty early on FanDuel around 1:30, 2 o'clock a.m. Eastern, and then I just go from there. And then once I get them in, I play them. So Arkansas Pine Bluff was a L for me today. Arkansas first half, I got it at 7.5. It's at 8 now. You can get 8s. I know you can get an 8 at Caesars. That's a good play. I like that. Michigan first half -5 is another one I like. I think that's down to 4.5. The Michigan Pitt under 140.5. I think it's at 139 now. I think that will go down to 138 by tip, to be honest with you. I think that game's high 130s. I mean, low to mid 130s, high 120s. It's where my numbers have that game. Delaware State first half +5.5. Take the points on that. I'm going to play the full game money line at +280. Is what I saw it at now. I kind of wish that I would have jumped on that last night. I probably could have got +3 something. Now that line's going down. Houston first half, taking that just because it's Houston, and I'm going to play that until the wheels fall off. Until they lose me money, I'm going to keep playing it. 16.5, I'll take it. I think that game's at 19 at the end of the first half. That's where I have it figured at. So we'll see. Northeastern first half -0.5. Now you can get that at +0.5. I like them to come in and try and establish their presence against Harvard. VCU first half -1. What is that? -2.5 now or something like that. I still like it. Arizona State, traveling 2 time zones to the east to take on a VCU squad that is going to be up at the top of the A10 come conference play. So, and then St. Mary's first half 11.5. That's another game that I just think the books are wrong on this, man. I think that number should be higher. It's actually down to 10.5 now. I can't say that I think it should be higher. That's probably about the limit that I would put it. Just so I'm not sweating it out. If I take, I'm not taking it at 15. Let's put it that way, because I don't want to sit there and sweat a game out, man. I sweat enough games out just picking games that I like. So that's where I stand on those plays. I hope everybody makes some money today. Do me a favor, if you haven't, please hit the like, subscribe, definitely comment below. Hit the comment below, man. Let me know if I'm an asshole, if I should be doing something different. Tell me to shave my eyebrows, whatever you need to do. And, let's make some money today, man. Please bet responsibly. Don't play. Be safe, man. Going to the casino. Shouldn't be watching me on TV. Tori Coker, where you at, man? I miss Tori Coker in the building. Where's he at? I don't see him. Oh, well. Tori, if you're here, man, good to see you, bro. And I will be back. Let's see what we got going on tomorrow. See if I can't get in with you guys tomorrow. What kind of schedule we have going on. If it's enough to even get me on here. I'm hoping to have Big Boss back this week, or at the next week. We'll talk to him. I'm going to talk to him this weekend. See if we can't get him back in action, and give you guys a few more options. So, all right. Speaking of that Sacred Heart game, that was a 4:00 start. They're down 25-17 already, which I really wanted to bet Massachusetts low, but it wasn't a game. It was one of those. What do they call them? What's Dutchy call them? Backwood games. So, but yeah. So that tells you about that Sacred Heart team. So tomorrow, Thursday, we got a pretty good slate. Just scanning through, I'll find some games that I like tonight. Keep an eye out. If you're up 2-3 in the morning, man, check out my post. If you can do online sports book, bet them then. If you have FanDuel, I should say, because not many are going to offer you that first half. But hopefully, if you have FanDuel, you can get the lines that I get, and we don't have to worry about the movement. Otherwise, y'all bet responsibly. Please be safe. I appreciate you joining. Please don't forget to hit the like and comment below. And till tomorrow, I'll see you. Let's get paid. You know what I'm saying? Let's get paid.